All right, Shalom. All right, and this is the book I was talking about. It's called the Key by John Philip Cohane. All right, and these are people. This guy Cyrus Gordon says he's a professor of Mediterranean studies. Or that's the region, that's the area. Or where our homeland is located. The Mediterranean. That's places. That's so Rome is, Greece. Or it's that area. So these guys are experts on the history of the people of that area. The history of that area, or the languages of that area. And this is a compilation of their right. This book is just like a compilation. It's basically like all their findings and things like that. I did a little research on John Philip Cohane. Like a lot of people consider his work like pseudoscience. All right, but a lot of the things, of course, there's meat and bones. All right, but he links everything up through the scriptures. All right, so that's why we go into that. We don't care what as far as like the worldly perception of things. Like we go whenever we go into like works or research, like we pick out the things that link up with the scriptures. So let's get one more scripture. 1 Corinthians 2:14. All right, 1 Corinthians 2:14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. So that's why when people like discredit like historians like this in their findings, all right, but it ends up like linking up with like scriptures and prophecy, all right, then of course all right, through the Spirit, we accept it, at least like the meat that we take from the bone. All right, so without further ado, we're going to get to the oh wow, and they even have they even have a like a Bible quote. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. So so I'm pretty sure this book goes off a lot, of course. All right, but they probably like link things up like through the scriptures. Even Christopher Columbus linked it up through the scriptures, like that Second Ezra's 13 I read earlier. That's how we knew that there were like people on this side of the world. All right, so this is the beginning of chapter 2. All right, the middle of the first paragraph. All right, and it says, formerly of Columbia University, Dr. Swadesh had been engaged for several years before his death at the National University of Mexico in a comparative study in depth between, on one hand, the Aztec and Mayan dialects, and on the other, the Hebrew language. So, and another thing is, a lot of people, like a lot of scoffers, as far as the like the Northern Kingdom, like being our Latinos and Native Americans, or they scoff and say that Elder like Ariel, or he was just like bugged out and things like that. That's just something like he just like pulled out of his sleeve, for a doctrine. But no, there's like valid reasons, like going into history. It's like going into prophecy requires that you go into history. So and these are prominent scholars, just scholars say like going into like comparative languages, as far as like Hebrew, and the Aztec and Mayan like dialects. So there had to be some some digging, or like that's why I brought out like Job 8 and 8, or because part of this like knowledge is going through like research and things like that, or research history. All right, and this is one of the things. That's how we came to this like conclusion. All right, so it says reading on. All right, the most recently published summary of this study indicates a relationship of approximately 20% between the two native dialects in Hebrew, an extraordinarily high figure in view of the geographic and time factors involved. So so that Second Ezra chapter 13, or that's part of a piece to that like missing puzzle. Or according to scholars, there was enough percentage to between those two languages, or those Native American languages in the Lashwan Kodash. There was enough of a correlation between that, for like scholars to like come up with like theories. All right, some theories as far as these all right these people, all right, in the New World, like had an origin in the ancient world. All right, then skipping to the middle of the second paragraph. All right. All right, to date, these studies, according to the Foundation, have revealed over 500 specific examples of cultural similarities between the Mediterranean and the Mexican Central American part of the world. All right, tribal customs and ceremonies, articles of clothing. All right, but yeah, because a lot of these tribes, like Issachar, like Gad, Reuben, and Issachar, like are known for wearing the fringes. Or so this isn't just as far as that Northern Kingdom doctrine, this isn't just something that was just like made up overnight. People were actually like being diligent in order to figure this out. And also the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai supping. That's how this information was found in the first place. All right. All right. So once again, all right. To date, these studies, according to the Foundation, have revealed over 500 specific examples of cultural similarities between the Mediterranean and the Mexican Central American part of the world. Tribal customs and ceremonies, articles of clothing, household utensils and furnishings, knowledge of the sciences and the arts, with particular emphasis on decorative and architectural details. All right, dovetailing with Dr. Swadesh's findings, high percentage of the relationships appear to be of common Semitic origin. Of course, you should know like the Israelites are come from Shem. Okay, and there's just like a whole bunch of then they of course they go into like different just different they're pretty much like saying that all these like different like be some edification on like Israelite foreigners and things like that. All right, but once again, like the name of this book is The Key by John Philip Cohane. Actually picked this up. So yeah, I picked this up, at a library like a couple years ago. It's like a decent find. All right, but Saki, yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, it's just as far as just something for like edification, just in case you want to pick it up or something like that. With that, I'm just gonna say shalom.